Hello, greetings, and welcome back to the BFC, where we go into the trenches of the trading world and get down and dirty with management teams from all over the world. This is where we get us some DD from the source. Man, I gotta say, I go away for a week and all hell breaks loose across the OTC. We have people challenging each other to MMA style fights. A legitimate meme coin project has a legitimate national news celebrity on for an interview and they dump it. And CYBL had another update on their Twitter regarding a company that has worked with NASA. I don't know. Maybe I need to go on more vacations. Maybe that's what I got to do. I don't know. But yeah, no, it's going to be a good show. We got Kiko, aka OTC Method, aka Chris Hensan, on the show later today. So we're going to get to some nitty gritty. We're going to do some due diligence. So guys, put your questions in the chat. It's going to be a well-spirited conversation. We're going to talk about C. We're going to talk about OTC. We're going to talk about whatever you want to talk about. This is about doing some due diligence. So without further hesitation, let's just get right into what we're going to talk about. Let's do this. Let's start with, what are we starting with? Let's start with Mvco. This has been added officially to the BFC watch list. All right, let's take a look at the share structure. Yeah. Okay. I like it. You know, he's clearly excited too about it. So we have a 4-cent share price, a market cap of 3.3 million, authorized share count 300 million, outstanding share count 69.3 million, held at DTC 17 million. This thing would move very, very quickly if it saw an influx of volume. So they're paying current, and I don't know, this one has me pretty excited. All right, let's look at the official business description. Metavesco is a Web3 enterprise and digital asset innovator. The company generates revenue as a crypto liquidity provider via decentralized exchanges such as Uniswap and the company farms tokens via proof of stake protocols. The company has Bitcoin mining operations as hosted facilities in Texas and Kentucky. The company also invests in promising NFT projects and virtual land, including other side Meta. On June 13th, 2023, the company acquired Boring Brew, a specialty coffee company utilizing owned and licensed NFT IP as unique packaging. Oh, let me tell you something too. Like, you spent a week on a cruise ship. And so, like, I am literally freaking swaying back and forth right now still. And it's probably going to go on for a couple more days, but damn, let's just keep rocking and rolling here, literally. Let's take a look at the website. By the way, guys, let's blow up the chat. Leave your comments in there. I'm going to get to them in a second. And, let's take a look at their website. Metavesco, investing in innovation. All right, let's take a look at what they have here. About us, Metavesco Incorporated is a pioneering holding company focused on acquiring and nurturing innovative businesses in both digital and traditional sectors. Our mission is to drive growth through strategic investments in emerging technologies and established industries. All right, let's keep rolling on. Innovation, integrity, and growth, the core values of Metavesco Incorporated that will change the game. Let's talk about their companies. Boasts a diverse portfolio of innovative companies that drive growth and value. All right, we're gonna get it more into this. Bitcoin mining. Metavesco is at the forefront of Bitcoin mining, utilizing state-of-the-art technology, sustainable practices to maximize efficiency and profitability. Our Bitcoin mining operations are designed to be environmentally conscious and highly effective. Boring Brew. I love coffee. You know, I had some earlier. It was delicious. Boring Brew is a premier specialty coffee brand celebrated for its unique packaging and high-quality coffee beans sourced from around the globe. Metavesco's acquisition of Boring Brew marks a significant milestone in our strategy, bridging the worlds of digital assets like BAYC NFTs with traditional retail products such as coffee. Discover more about Boring Brew, Boring Brew and our innovative vision. And you guys can just give these guys a follow on the X. See Ryan Chadell, Race Dress, and Erod. It's all right there. Make sure you give them a check out. So I don't know. I'm pretty excited about this one, and this is really why I'm excited. Let me just let me just give you my thoughts on Mvco and why I'm bullish. You know, they have a guy at the helm who's very well versed in the OTC protocol. You know, he is active on the socials, and he does have a bold personality. And I like the share structure. This is one of those, in my opinion. You know, you load it up for the next huge influx of OTC volume, and you know they have a lot going on. And most importantly, this Thursday at 4 p.m. EDT, we are going to have Ryan Chadell on to talk not only about Metavesco, but anything that comes to mind. No holds barred, BFC MMA style podcast. So get ready for that. I got a lot of questions for him. I have a lot of questions in regards to where the company is going. I'm looking for companies like this that have nice tight share structures. They have vocal seniors in the management team that are out there that aren't shying away, that are willing to come on and answer questions and really share who they are. To me, that is very, very important. So you want to mark your calendars for this Thursday, July 11th, 4 p.m. Make sure you are there. Let's keep this thing going here. All right, we're going to go on to Igpk. All right, this is one that has it's cult status now. That's what we're going to call it. It's cult status. All right, now since we last talked about Igpk, they did some updates to their Twitter account and their website. Dongguan operates as an internet e-commerce company through which the company's resident merchant sells an array of customer products on the online platform. So listen, guys, the truth is we did a really kick-ass interview with the CEO with an interpreter, and it was meaty. So if you haven't checked out that episode, you want to go check it out. There's a lot of information in there. And yes, we want the share price to go to $1 tomorrow. But you know what? This, in my opinion, is a long-term hold. It's a beefy company, and but I'll get to my personal thoughts in a second. Let's keep it going. Here's their latest tweets. June 27th, JFHE has updated its website to ensure consistency with our brand identity. Stay informed about our latest developments and commitment to transparency. And the day before, on behalf of JFH Digital E-Commerce, I would like to welcome all of our shareholders to our official JFHE X page. We look forward to using this platform to provide you with future company updates. Regard, Dejun Wang, CEO. And, here is the website. Here's the update. We have updated our X page. We just went over that. We are committed to enhancing our engagement with current and future shareholders through our X page. Stay tuned for more updates. It doesn't say we are going to update you every single day. It doesn't say that there, I don't think. But it's dated June 27th, 2024. So, you know what? Hopefully we get regular updates. They've done a lot of things right so far, and I'm excited for them. Very excited. So, let's talk about Long Bully Stick. This guy, the Dirty Truth, I like him a lot because he's good with the due diligence. He has taken it a step further. There's a couple more I'm going to mention in a second, but he is on top of this thing like a bum on a bologna sandwich. He's good. He's translating videos. He's putting the captions in there. He and many others are doing such a good job making sure they're keeping you up to date with the information. But don't just rely on them. Make sure you do the digging too. Because at the end of the day, it's your trade, it's your investment, it's your responsibility as a trader. So he talked, recently about that Zhenfeng Wang is expanding into its new headquarters on July 14th with a big celebration. In my opinion, this is a big deal and shows the strength and growth of the company. It is a big deal, and I'm excited. I can't wait to see what happens. And I guarantee you, if there's some kind of celebration or video of it, he's going to have it translated on his video. So, and there was another one they put out there, brand new video on the company's WeChat page explaining everything we know, how to earn points. And this is about that points and token system and all that. So if you haven't followed Long Bully Stick, if you're invested in Igpk, give them a follow. Also, give these people a follow too. Godfather Capital, Believe in Yourself When No One Else Does, Masterpicks, Money Tings, and Fashion Diva. Make sure you guys give these people a follow because they are sharing this information. They're sharing their own due diligence, and they are just contributing to the DD of this ticker, which is the Great Chinese Merger, Igpk, JFHE, Zhenfeng Wang. And so here's my thoughts. I think many are waiting to see consistency in the Q2 filing for Igpk, and rightfully so, because we know how overseas mergers often crash and burn. But I will say, Dejun Wang and his team have followed through, and they've come on the show. They've went out of their way, and they're doing everything correctly so far. Not to mention, the business model is absolutely significant and unique with what they're doing with what these tokens and the share structuring plan, the sharing plan, I should say. And we're already looking at 100 million in revenues with just one of their divisions rolled in. So you do the math, you do the due diligence, you decide. But I'm just going to say right out, if that's just one of the divisions, and I don't expect them to roll in 2 or 3 more in the next quarter, I think they're going to stagger things in and see how things play out. If they start doing that, look out, because we're talking about hundreds of millions in revenue. I don't know. Am I excited? A little bit. Just a little bit, right? All right, let's move on. I want to give a special cheers of the week to, a couple of special people. The family and I had a chance to take a cruise for a week, and we're very thankful for that. But I wanted to give an extra special shout out to our mealtime servers, Mike and Tanisha. These guys were top notch on board the Disney Wish. The boat was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. It was like half a mile long or whatever. Unbelievable. I watched a video on how it was made, and I was just really captivated. And we went on it. We enjoyed an early summer vacation with the family. And I got to say, a sincere thanks to Mike and Tanisha. You guys really made it special. It was a great time. And hey, Disney, I know you spend a lot of money on a lot of other causes. But I won't get into that. But give these guys a big fat bonus. There it is right now. Mike, if you're watching, Tanisha, if you're watching, you show this to your superior right now. They crushed it. They got a 10 out of 10. And yeah, and don't make fun of my kids. I know their faces came out a little bit weird. Yeah, but but I gotta say, you know, you go to Orlando, right? You get to Orlando and you get off the plane, you get your baggage, within like 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. It's a busy airport. It's a well-oiled machine, right? And then you get back to Buffalo like 12:30 in the morning, and there's only two planes that land, and you're waiting there for 40 minutes to get your luggage. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But yeah, that wasn't pleasant. And anybody that knows me out there knows I'm going to go on a how I don't like flying rant. So I see you guys are adding comments in. We're going to get to those in a second. But let's keep this thing going. IBL. All right. What do we have here? Here's the latest tweet. All right. Say hello to our new partner, Oxy, we're going to call it. We have integrated Oxy's OmniScience software into our UAS product. Oxy's autonomy and computer vision technologies enable sustained operations of Cyberlux's loitering munition system in GPS and RF denied areas. Learn more at cyberlux.com. And you know what? This is the Oxy site. Now, on their website, this was the most recent PR, was August 22nd, 2023. All right. And if you look at it, they did have a partnership, an experience with NASA. They participated in a high-profile space mission. All right. Oxy's Sammy. And by the way, I reached out to the company because I'd love to have them come on the channel and talk about these things and talk about their partnership with Cyberlux and talk about what they're doing, with NASA especially. But Oxy Sammy will observe, and this is old news, obviously, the sample return capsule and its wake from a NASA Gulfstream aircraft outfitted with optical windows and a stabilizing tracking system. Sammy will collect hyperspectral and multispectral data from the ultraviolet through midwave infrared. This data will enable NASA to validate and improve modeling tools to support future missions, including landing spacecraft on Mars. And how cool is that? I mean, that's some exciting stuff. And you know what? Will was on top of this. Will was shocker. He's always on his game. But this was actually mentioned a month ago by Oxy. All right. They mentioned this. And now, and I said there weren't a lot of updates on their website. If you want to follow these guys, follow them on LinkedIn. That's where you're going to get all of their information. And that's where they post very often. They're not often on the tweet. They're not doing that stuff, right? Even on their website. They're not, posting like updates regularly on their website. But follow them on LinkedIn. Let's look at their tweet where they mentioned Cyberlux. We are up and running at TE243, showcasing our latest software technology integration with partners, Onyx and boom, there it is, Cyberlux Corporation. It is a great day to show our customers future warfare capabilities with autonomous mission scenarios, proving our adaptability to the evolving challenges on the battlefield. Stay tuned for more. Nice. Stay tuned there. So yeah, that is what it is. I'm very excited to see that. And I'm excited to see it from their end. You dig? Nah, you get what I'm saying. All right. So that's a little bit about CYBL. And I'm just gonna keep hammering this through. I mean, we're just going for it today. I'm wound up. It felt good. I'm recharged. Let me look at the chat real quick. Let's see what you guys are doing. I see some comments. Shout out to everybody. All right, Michael Singleton, Anthony DeVideo, Chirp McGurd, Polyfish. Good evening to you as well. Let's just boom. I'll pull up some of your comment. Yeah, I like this. Everyone like, share, and subscribe. Jeremy West, good to see you. He's definitely going to want to tune into the next show next Thursday. All right. Yep. Duffs. There it is. We want updates every day when Lambo. Oh, that's funny. These are great comments, guys. When you say long term for Igpk, are you thinking long term 1 year or long term 5 years? Honestly, if they're going to integrate everything, and they're going to stagger this in, I'd say this is a good 1 to 2 years where we start to really see things come to fruition. If they're consistently adding quarter on quarter, and it does prove to be, they're going to start with 100 million. Now, granted, we want that number closer to a billion because that's what we've sort of. They've never said that we're loading a billion in. That's what we've came to the conclusion with our due diligence. Speculation, speculative. But I think that if I think they're going to be rewarded. I think the stock is going to be rewarded if they're going to be at 100 million in revenue. One would think, but does clear thinking and rational thought work out in the OTC? I don't know. So yeah, there's that. I don't know. I'm just going to pretend like Michael Singleton was just laughing at my joke. They will be bigger than Timu. I would love to see that. I'd love to see that. Paul McKinney, all right, pay me some. Cheers. Howdy, everybody. Howdy back to you, the big BS. Liberace got thrown out of Orlando for not being gay enough. That was good. That was a good one. Oh, and Michael's full of laughter today. So yeah, sorry. So what else do we want to talk about today before I bring in Kiko, the man, the myth, the legend? I'll tell you what I want to talk about. I want to talk about Ltnc. Ltnc. Let's get this anthem going. Yeah. Now look, I finally got it right here. Now listen, they didn't send it like this. They didn't. My wife opened the box automatically. She opened the box because she probably thought it was from Amazon or something she ordered. God forbid I order something, right? But yeah, I finally ordered and received my Independence Day edition of Locked In. Now I'm very excited for this company. Now, since I've had them on the show, I decided to start diving into that's poppies. The kids are gonna have fun with these puppies. I decided to start diving into the molecular hydrogen water, and I talked to Long Bully Stick about it. He's very knowledgeable. And I bought a purified water pitcher for home. And I wanted to try this for 30 days just to see how I adapted to the molecular hydrogen and then do a solid comparison to the Locked In product. Well, here we are, nonetheless, and it's nice and chilled. And I'm going to get ready right now to take my first sip with the Locked In community. So let's get into this. I don't want to pop too many bubbles here, but, and I'll tell you, I did order the Independence Day one. Is it noisy enough for you? Right? Very exciting. All right. Look at that. All right. We got the all right, let's get this. Let's set this to the side. Came well packaged. All right. I love the cans. I think they're really nice looking here. Let me just show you. They got a nice little jam too. So this is it. And I'm gonna crack this thing open. So I'm fixing my screen just froze. Hopefully it didn't freeze for you guys. But this is the Independence Day collection. Ooh, yeah. Cheers to Locked In community. Or LTNC. Cheers to you guys. I needed that. And you know what? I didn't have my BFC mug with water purposely because I knew I was doing this. So, cheers, guys. All right. Now, why is it different? And so I had a chance to talk with Tom Zaro earlier. We touched base for about 10 minutes. I'm hoping to have them on for a nice update, sometime this summer. I think that's going to be great. Now, I talked about having the purified pitcher, right? The difference between the purified pitcher, which I really enjoy, and the Locked In product is that Locked In provides the colloidals, like the platinum, copper, gold, and zinc. And another advantage is that they will soon be offering the stick packs, which are totally like a must-have for travel. Now, I'll tell you, I did 30 days, with that hydrogen water, and I'm not even kidding. Like, after being on vacation, after 3 days, I've been waking up like better in the morning. But after 3 days of not having the water, I'm sort of like, last couple of days have been a little rough. So the first thing I did when I got back was I made that pitcher of water. But this is a great product. We'll see. I'm gonna drink this solid for 12 days. I'm gonna see if I get the same results and see if it helps. And like I said, I haven't noticed the difference I've noticed with the pitcher is just being able to wake up much easier. With this, I'm hoping that it's the same. I hope I retain that, so maybe having the vacation and time in that amount of time was a smart idea. But I will definitely be buying the stick packs. So yeah, and a lot of people were like, "Is it carbonated?" And they're going to ask me. I go, "I'll let you know. Yeah, it's not carbonated. It's water." Who doesn't like water? You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I did miss my water. So, like I said, I'm going to be buying those stick packs. And like I said, cheers to the locked in community. You guys are awesome. But they are offering a better product, apparently, because of the colloidals. What they have to deliver that hydrogen to you on the cellular level. And we talked about all that stuff during the podcast. So, all right, we're just going to keep things going. Are we ready? The question is, are you ready? I know I'm ready. And I said, I'm going to get you in here within 20 minutes, and I'm 21:50. So hopefully he hasn't, let me have it too much. Let's bring him in. Kiko. Sir, welcome back to the BFC. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Now,
how's my sound? Is my sound okay?
What? No, I'm just kidding. You're good.
21 minutes. I'm out of here.
I'm out of here.
That's it.
Now, a lot has happened. Since you guys, since you've been on the show. I got to start by asking you, you had Chris Hansen on. Chris Hansen, what? Okay. First of all, we'll get to talking about the market reaction, but what was it like? How were your nerves? How just because I couldn't watch because I was on a ship in the middle of the ocean. So tell me about it. Tell me what you were going through and what you were feeling, man.
Dude, like, first of all, he is such a good guy. You know what I mean? Like they're I've been on him since April to be involved in some way. And and his thing was like, okay, I'm not looking to be shilling and doing this and doing that. And I said, I understand that, but I felt a duty to at least notify him that we were honoring him this way, and felt a duty to let him know that we were doing this and that we were doing it for a positive reason. You know what I mean? And finally, someone had made it was a cameo that he made, and they'd used a bunch of terms that referred to SEEP, but he obviously couldn't tell. And they sent it to me, and I sent it to him, and I said, I don't think you meant to even make this, so I'm just sending you. Do I have something?
No.
I don't know. So I said, I'm gonna ask the community member not to disseminate this, but would you be okay to come on and chat with the community and everything? And he said absolutely. And behind the scenes, he's so keenly interested in it. He keeps an eye on the price. He thinks it's hilarious, and he loves it. He loves the meme coin, and he loves being part of it, and he will come back for more stuff in the future. So it's just one of those things that I don't know if I put my head in it. Like, what is this?
You're nervous.
No, I feel like I don't know.
I'm feeling the heat on the fireside.
I put my head in an oil slick or something here. So
do you got like those big umbrella lights in front of you?
And so and he was just such a great guy. And the first time I chatted with him, we probably spent 45 minutes on the phone, and he had time and was really gracious and really enjoyed being thought of in this way, and love the fact that people still care about his work all these years later. And and I had all sorts of questions like, were you trying to be funny? You know what I mean? Or like all these different things. Like, did you write the jokes? Like, when you entered and spoke to a predator, were you writing these jokes beforehand, or were they off the cuff? Like, what is your deal? And he said that he would write them, like, as the predator's sitting there, he would then write them in the moment before he went out to confront the predator, you know what I mean? And so it's just wild. Like it was so cool because I mean that To Catch a Predator series is a part of American history in ways that many things will never be. And to talk to that guy and you know, that deadly serious guy was huge for me. I was starstruck when I got on the phone, like, because I mean, I've been watching those clips for 20 years and I couldn't believe it. That same voice, everything. And I was like, oh my God, this is really the guy, you know? And he was a really wonderful man. So that part of it was awesome. The price action hasn't been awesome.
Hmm.
And it saddens me because like I think a lot of this has to do with Solana being down. And a lot of it has to do with you know, like in the OTC or even in the NASDAQ or something, you know, if you leave something that's good and you chase something else, maybe you'll go a bit red. Yeah, maybe you made a wrong entry and you have to sell it, you 10-20% loss, whatever. But in this, it's a total and complete, like if you pick the wrong thing, it's just zero. Like it's not it's not a 50% loss, it's a 75-80% loss. And you know, the thing about Seat was like, because this was the first one, right? Like this was
Mhm.
the first meme coin in early April that really got that hard push, and I put a ton into it. And then all these other ones started popping up, you know, about other traders and about, you know, other crews of traders were then launching theirs. And, you know, most of them either have rug pulled completely, gone to zero,
Yep.
or have, you know, $100 a day in volume and have basically gone to zero. And so all the people who were kind of new to this space that sold this to chase those, you know, they're not coming back now because they lost all that money. And you know, at the end of the day on Seat, you know, from my launch, when I started telling people you should get into Seat, I'm just pulling up the numbers here, you know, it was probably, you know, 15,000% run. And you know, it's hard to know that people just abandoned it for other
Hmm.
things and then got zeroed out. But what I'm doing now, and people, they're gonna find out, like Chris is still involved in this. Like he, you know what I mean? Like he's absolutely open to doing more.
Hmm.
But I got to get this price up, and that means when I'm making successful trades on other stuff, I'm taking Seat back. Like I'm buying it back. It's at trip 5, and I'm just going to keep buying it back. And I'm going to make sure those shares or those tokens are not available ever again to get flipped,
Hmm.
because I love this project. I love this meme. I would be devastated if it died. So I'm not going anywhere. It's just hard right now because, you know, Solana's down. A lot of our peers bought mega rugs
Hmm.
and are zeroed out, and I've got to just keep pushing. But it's a nasty business when they're launching 10,000 tokens a day. Standing out is hard, you know, and so we'll keep it up. But I was a little bit disappointed in the market reaction to the after the interview with Chris, for sure.
If and I text you this because I had a chance to, like, I was able to get certain updates, couldn't stream, you know, when I was out there, and I said, if this was 2021 and this was like, you know, the big pump of 2021, let's if you had Chris Hansen on
Oh
and you were
man,
doing this project and this was an OTC company, that thing would have exploded. It would have
for
been
sure.
huge. It
Yeah.
would have been huge. And I feel like sometimes the trader mentality now is that of one that has been through a traumatic experience, you know, where like people are like, oh shit, gotta sell. You know what I mean? And a lot of times by the time those people do it, it's already too late and they're not gonna even make a profit. Then they try to jump into another project that may be on the rise, and then they mess that up. You know, people go from investment to investment to investment. Sometimes, you know, there are people out there like that. They're taking their $2,000 and they're regurgitating it, and it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller as they move from project to project.
Yeah.
But if that was a different era, that thing would have been through the roof. And you as the dev, as leader of this project, completely provided for the community. Um, like you freaking delivered. I
Yeah.
mean, you
Yeah.
I mean, you just literally gave the platter to everybody. It was like, here, boom, here you go. You want Chris
Yeah.
Hansen? Here's Chris Hansen right here. And that just blows my mind. It just blows my mind that that was the reaction to it.
I think, I think you're right. And, I've said this before and, I still maintain that, I believe that your average family and your average person is hurting way more than they will ever admit on the news, that they'll ever admit anywhere else. And, you see the big market pumping, but it's only a few stocks that are pulling the whole index up. And, your average person, I find, certainly with OTC method membership, it's absolutely lower. And the retail trader right now is shrinking, and I still believe that. And I think that's part of the reason why people are very quick to sell, because they're not seeing that follow through. They're not seeing the wind beneath the wings of things in terms of bid support and all those different things. And so they get to a place where they go, okay, the last 15 times I was green and I didn't sell, I went red, and now I'm going to do it. And you're right, there's that mob mentality around things where they're just going to instantly sell it. And companies as well are doing the same thing. They get some volume and they're going, okay, if I don't convert now, I may never see volume again, so I'm going to burn it now. And it is what it is. And it's a very tough chicken and egg scenario,
Mm.
because on one hand you would say, well, if the companies wouldn't sell, then retail could do well. But you can see on Seat and Graph and a couple of other really well supported projects that that retail did sell anyways. You know what I mean? And so it, when you're looking at these companies and saying, well, they shouldn't dilute, I didn't dilute Seat. I couldn't. It's not possible. I mean, my tokens were stolen when I got hacked back in
I
May.
remember that. Oh, I remember that.
And so, and then a lot of people were throwing up a lot of suspicion about that. They thought that was me pretending to be hacked. And then when I kept working without tokens, then they believed me later. But so in the end, retail has a lot of thinking to do about how they commit to things, and I don't have the answer
Hmm.
with regard to how we move forward on that front. Because it's hard, and I understand that it's hard for companies to raise capital as well in this environment, and I don't know what it's going to take to change it.
It's like a bicycle. It's
Yeah.
like you're riding the bicycle. The bicycle is the OTC right now. I'm just gonna, and I want you to talk to more. You're already touching on that a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's like you're riding the OTC bike, and your tires are going a little flat. Your brakes aren't working very well. The chain is janky. It's not just one thing. There's a funding issue. There's a volume issue. There's a retail confidence issue. So, let me ask you, and you talked a little bit about this. How do you translate the experiences that you had with the Seat coin, and in the meme coin world, or the coin world, we'll just say in general, because I think you brought more to it than just a meme coin. You clearly did.
Yeah.
How do you transfer that, and how do you translate that to the OTC?
That's a good question. I mean, because I think ultimately what we're struggling with in the OTC is a bit of a workflow issue. And, it's a bit of a process issue with regard to filings and a communication issue. You know what I mean? Like, people don't really know when something's going to go gray. And even though, there are people out there who've been good enough to write exactly what the rules are or whatever,
Mm.
your average person doesn't have the confidence to do that. They don't understand it, and OTC markets is not clear enough to them.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And so you get in this loop where people are just only buying what's advertised to them, and sometimes that's a toxic thing.
Hmm.
And it's really hard to say, like, how would I transfer it back to the OTC? I don't know. I feel like because I miss it so dearly. I mean, like, the OTC we knew, and people were really frustrated with me and angry at me to be going this meme coin direction, but like I had to do something. You know what I mean? I'd been one of the only guys left for a long time, and sitting there and things with 2 buys a day, like I had to try and broaden my horizons a bit. But I'm hoping that this experience maybe has people ready to finally say, you know what, maybe that OTC wasn't so bad.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like maybe, yeah, some of these OTCs are tough traders. Sometimes there's a little bit of dilution. Yeah. But compared to a market where they're pulling 10,000 rugs a day, maybe it isn't so bad. And maybe this final look at something else will finally help people realize that they do have maybe not a filet mignon, maybe not a ribeye, but maybe a decent cut of meat at home in the OTC. You know what I mean? Maybe, maybe not Wagyu, but maybe a decent cut of meat at home in the OTC. That's what I'm trying to say to you. It doesn't have to be grass-fed, grain-fed meat.
Tastes better.
But it's a good cut. It's a good cut, Eric.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That's why, like, I've been doing a lot of due diligence lately. And if you're in the BFC Discord, if you're not, get in there, because I'm gonna hopefully make a couple decent calls in the next couple weeks. That I think that I don't know. I think it's time to get going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's time to get going. And I'm not saying we're not stopping. By the way, people, I'm just follow me here. It's time to get going again. It's time to really start digging deeper. It's time to start, and I've been doing it here. You're always doing it.
I'm
trying to,
always here.
yeah, dude. I am trying to find those companies that are putting out products that I'm trying their products. And by the way, somebody asked, does it taste harder? Is it like hard water? Whatever. It tastes just like water. It tastes refreshing water. It's very nice. It's refreshing. I like the product. Anybody that gets it, if you think this is gonna be like holy crap, this has a flavor. This isn't like that. It's more about what it does on a molecular basis. So we're gonna talk about this another time. But I mean, like, somebody asked that question, so I think it was the video. I wanted to answer that. So the truth is, it's time to like keep digging for these plays and keep finding them, because like when you have like a company like NUMD, it's just sitting there. They're not being very vocal right now, but they have a substantial real estate reverse merger. When you have a company like Igpk, given the share structure is rather big, but if they're putting up 25 million in revenues, you have SFIO, they're putting up 100 plus million in revenues. You have DRCR sitting at, they were at 3 cents. They're looking to they're merging into reverse merging into a big board. You have them doing over 100 million a year. These are real companies that are putting up big numbers. So when there's a drawback, that's when I think you should invest. And I think that we're looking at a time of more medium holds. And this is, you and I talked on the phone for a while the other day. This is one thing I want people to realize. What kind of a trade do you want to make? What are you looking for? Do you want to do a day trade? Do you want to swing it? Do you want to go long term? A lot of you tell yourselves that you're long term, but you're not long term. You are lying to yourself. You are lying to yourself. I'm long on iList. No, you bought 40 cents and you're trapped. That's the truth. And I know, because you people post all the day, what now? Blah, blah, blah. I get it. Trust me. That's not an easy position to be in. I have some plays like that. Luckily I got in that one early. I'm just using them as an example. But the truth is that you have to assess your risk. Don't play with what you can't afford to lose. And what kind of a trade are you going to make? Don't tell me you bought iList at 40 cents and you're happy because you're long term with it. That's you're lying to yourself at that point. that's just where I'm at, and I think that we need to start figuring out what are we looking to trade. What are we looking to trade here? Day, swing? Can you afford it? Do you have an exit point? Money tings. He says right here. Bought IGPK at 198. Where see, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. But there you go. We're talking about the due diligence lining up. I know why you do it, because you're looking at it as a very long-term investment. You're not just some flyby. But here it is. He money tings. But you see what I'm saying? Like it's a mindset. If you buy in low and you make your profit and sell high, it's not going to affect you. If you buy the top of the mountain and that thing starts crashing, all of a sudden you're long, and you'll find anything to justify it. Anything to make it real. Do you know what I mean? When sometimes it's just like, oh crap, this thing is crashed and burned. What's going to revive it? So I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking out of my ass right now, but
No, you're saying the right things. I mean, we gotta be willing to commit to some plays in order to move them. And like I've got this one that I'm working on right now, this merger LGMH. With and it's you got to be willing to be in them, and that's IGPK hasn't been touched by moon market like IGPK, like ILIS, I think you meant.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
true. But that doesn't matter anymore.
No.
It doesn't matter. Moon Market could get on there and probably beat a drum singing an IGPK song, and it might not move the stock. You know what I mean? I mean,
But it
that's
didn't help much on SAML either. You know what I mean?
no, it
And
didn't.
that's because we're just in a different market condition right now. It's not a knock on the guy.
No,
It's
not at
just
all.
we're in a
I like
different
Moon Market.
condition right now where the dollar volume's different. People's commitment to things is different and I would say lower. And but so my hope is that now that people have seen the meme coin side of things and they've seen the NASDAQ side of things and whatever it is, would it be so bad to get back into some OTCs? Unless they're done trading forever, I would say it wouldn't be so bad. It for me, it's a nice lifestyle. The market closes. It's, I'm ready, man.
How do you feel about, like, if we trading 24 hours? Would you support that? And I think we talked about that before. Would you
No.
want trading 24/7?
I don't understand it. Like I don't understand it. Why anyone would want this? You know what I mean? Like I don't understand why anyone would want this.
Yeah. I like the downtime of the weekend. That's what I do.
Yeah.
A lot of my research, my reading, and saying, all right, what are we looking at for this coming week? All right, who's going to go current? Who's going to have news? Who's going to, like? And by the way, I was looking at that LGMH. That's one you're working on, right? Yeah.
So that's a
nice share
Network
structure.
One financial merger, and you probably know Network One is the underwriter behind all those Chinese IPOs that went straight to the moon probably last year. They went
Yeah.
yeah, and so they were behind that. And a year ago this time, they did an underwrite on BGLC, which is what I bought it because it was a Network One merger as well, and that was that would have been early June, or no, sorry, yeah. Let's pull it up here. 2023 June.
Yep.
I'll pull up the chart here.
We got it here. Why don't you can share your screen if you would like.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I'll get out of there. But it's always good to learn about a new one. Get out your notebooks, kids. I like them. I mean, those Chinese plays were pretty wild. And I know, what the funny thing is, talking about IGBK and Lisa Matthews, she told me right
You
out.
see it?
Yep, I'll pull it up for you. She found a lot of good stuff in regards to a lot of these Chinese companies in regards to the share structure and the prices. But go for it. All right,
Yeah,
so
so
this is BGLC.
Yeah, I picked this up at the end. This is split adjusted, but this was quite low. This was about a dime. Did about 600% into the uplist once they announced that they were working with Network One on a merger. It was the identical news to what LGMH just put out last week. And I remember I was just on my knees begging. I was being like, "Hey guys, Network One merger," but people were not huge on the OTC still at the time. And so on this LGMH, I saw it was another Network One merger, and I just said, "Okay, well, I'm just going to take it." But like I'm not gonna beg anymore. I'm over it. And they picked it up, and so far it's been a real ripperoni of a move. Good move so far. Finally dipped back to the anchor. You see the anchored volume weighted average price to the news announcement. So it's no one's green now, so it's right on the average. So at least it would be a competitive entry in the fives, low sixes. And what I love about this one is they have not put a timeline on when they're going to close that merger. So,
jeez,
which is on one hand, like you can look at that and say, "Hey, that's not good because I want to know when the merger closes." To me, as a person, like when the merger closes is when it usually is done. You know what I mean? Like that's when that's that moment everyone's waiting for. So the longer it takes, as far as I'm concerned, the better. You know what I mean? Because you can just continue to speculate and speculate and speculate about the size and the scale and everything like that. And so the longer it takes, the better. And like I said, I mean, the BGLC was a 600% trade. This is done. No one really got much down low. This could go a lot further. So I'm working on it. But again, it's different though. And the reason it's different is because it's not like it's like, hey, this underwriter makes big pumps. You know what I mean? As opposed to, hey, this is organically interesting and this is a really organic, cool merger that retail will love. You know what I mean? And that's the part that I miss on stuff and I'd like to see more of. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. And like for
Yeah.
me, and that was the case with NUMD. They didn't give a timeline at all for when they
Yeah.
closed that merger. And I talked to management and they're like, we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna do it when we do it. We're not gonna create this like we're not pumping the hell out of it. We're gonna give you results.
Yeah.
And that's nice movement. I mean, from 1 cent to 9 cent, it's
Not bad.
consolidated. It's in a nice buy zone, in my opinion. I think
Yeah.
anything under a dime here, you're gonna see, a huge return on investment, there. But
Well,
yeah,
and
I like what you just explained though. I
people
think that
don't remember on NUMD. I mean, I was all over it back God, when was that?
probably a year ago, right?
Yeah, August
Yep.
2022.
Was it 22? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Damn.
August 2022 is when the start of September, they announced that change of control to that CEO.
Yep.
And I was like, let's go, guys. And then I never expected it would have taken 2 years because they just went quiet for 2 years, finally
And
came
yeah,
back.
and it
But
took them a year to announce. I mean, I'm just looking right now.
yeah,
It took them a year to announce the what the merger was going to be.
right.
Yeah, that's
No, I couldn't believe it took so long. And then I was so pissed off because I was like, now you care? You leave me hanging out to dry for 2 years?
and
But
it's
I'm glad
crazy
that yeah.
because and now they have a new CEO. Bill Hade's still on there. I
Yes, he
talked with
is.
him, which is good. And it must have taken. They wanted to make sure. And I'm just looking through this real quick. Yeah, nothing has changed. A really nice share structure. I mean,
Still
they're
good.
doing everything. And the only convertible note is the actual company that has merged in. So I don't know, like that, like and Barry the Great. I'm gonna mention it. Like he loves this one, and he's loading this to high hell. He is. He's taking this thing and he's just buying when he can. He said right now, he goes, "Yep." He goes, "This is gonna see." And I do think it's gonna see its day. It's a beautiful setup. It's not volatile. I mean, the share structure is beautiful.
I just
Um,
put up my screen again. You're not seeing the selling. Like I just zoomed in on it here. Like this is not heavy selling. Like here, this is just people who are green, sells back down a bit, then they maybe got bored here, but I'm not seeing any selling now.
And it doesn't take much to move it.
No.
That's the whole thing. I mean, this thing, and I know
Look at the selling back in the day on it.
Yeah.
In contrast, like, I mean, this was hard to pick up. And now you could see it's totally a different beast. And I mean, a good concerted effort from the community to take a rip at this. Like there's no one selling here. So these are the things that, and I mean, we bang the drum time and again. If we can let go of needing things to be in trips,
come on now.
if we can find a way to just release ourselves from that need, there is a ton of movement out here, and there's a bunch of mergers happening right now too. But the price, we gotta get there mentally with price and understand if something moves 100%, you still make 100%. If you even, if you're holding $100 worth of shares and it goes from 5 cents to a dime, it's still $200, even if it's a trip or not a trip, and the day we break free of that, which very much was a COVID and now a post-COVID hangover, because
Bingo.
I mean, I was doing
100%.
this long before COVID, and it like we had trips plays, lots of them, but it didn't have to be a trip. And it's just very strange to me why it always has to be now. And I don't know what it's going to take to break out of that mentality. It'll take something really, really, really exciting, I suppose. But
it will. I think a lot of it's going to come down to the American election. I think that, when people talk, somebody posted like, yeah, products, groceries are up 25%. That's a lie. They're up way more than 25%.
yeah, they sure are.
So don't give me the bull crap that, oh yeah, it's what cost $100 now costs 126. Wrong 100%. Like I
try 300.
Yeah. 300%. Somebody posted something, a guy on his Amazon cart. It says, do you want to purchase again? So he had a 2022 order and he clicked to repurchase and it was up almost 400. Did you see that? That's unbelievable.
$400, and his original order was $120 from Walmart online grocery shopping. Yeah.
I mean,
it doesn't surprise me.
They don't tell you. Just like they say, oh, the unemployment rate's down. Okay. Oh, the inflation rate's down. Okay. And no matter what administration is, they fudge those numbers, especially during the election time. Let's open up the oil reserves, get the price of gas down. That's all a game. It's all a game.
The hard part is going to be, and this is the part no one wants to admit, but if you look at the invisible hand and economics, the only way to deflate is pain. And at some point, the pain will come, and it's going to be really painful because the reckless printing of money from both administrations. This isn't a political statement. It's just the way it is. And in Canada, it's the same, by the way. Worse. At some point, the tap turns off and the pain starts. And that's the only way prices will ever come down. If no one's actually feeling any pain, like at some point, people are going to have to pay off these credit cards and credit lines. At some point, pain is coming. And that's the only way to deflate.
And there's going to be
I'm shocked that
watch,
it's taken this long.
People are using their credit cards for groceries. You're going to look at record bankruptcies. If you look at the housing market, it's through the roof. In doing I've done some real estate. And I'm looking at. I have a client now, and if you look at the housing prices are through the roof. And the funny thing is, they're not even staying on the market for a week, and they're selling. Like my house is valued at almost $250,000. I bought the damn thing. Well, we bought it. She's gonna yell at me for saying I didn't buy anything. We bought it. We bought it, honey. We did that $94,000.
Good God.
$94,000. And we're pushing $250,000. No way. That's insanity right there. And people are like, oh yeah, no, things are great. No, they're not.
No,
The
they're
products
not.
that like, and this isn't just like, oh, it costs more to buy a car or a house. This is like, it costs more to live. Look at people on fixed incomes. This is who it's really hitting. My parents are retirees. My mom's still working. She's already retired, but they have to work because, you know, basic groceries are now triple the price. I mean, I saw something so stupid the other day. What did I see? It was a jar of peppers and it was like $12. A jar of peppers that was normally like $4.99. Like cherry peppers in the jar.
Sure.
And I just wanted to start taking pictures of everything that I see and just be like, don't tell me that it's only been up 25%. You know, even the places that you go to, you got your Aldi's, Save a Lot, like all your not mainstream groceries that you tend to get things that cheaper, their
Yeah.
prices are all up too,
Oh yeah.
you know, that's just it's that's the reality, especially when you have kids and a family and stuff, and then you have some crazy people don't have a family or don't oh yeah, just don't live, don't do anything with your life because the truth is when does the middle class in North America stop getting squeezed and hosed? Because that's what's happening. We pay our taxes. We do what we got to do. We go to work, you know, and that's it. And the cost of living is higher. We expect people to go out and get a job and be able to like move out on their own. How could people move out on their own now? How does an 18-year-old get a job, go to college, and like they will don't go to college? Okay, don't do the whole don't go to college thing. And like I'll go on a student loan tangent too. I got student loans, but weird thing is we pay taxes to fund these state universities that they jack up the high tuition, and the government makes money off the loan that they give you, charging whatever interest rate they want. So it doesn't make sense to me. None of it makes sense. Okay, we're going to pay
There's a
taxes into
massive
it doesn't. Am I just like losing my mind? You pay taxes into a state institution, yet you have to pay to go to the state institution. The government's going to give you the money to go to state institution and charge you a ridiculous interest rate on it. They're making money off of it. Just give me 0% interest. I'll take the loan out. I'll pay it back. That's fine. That's fine with me. But
there's
they
a
want to make money
hopelessness
off of everybody. That's the problem.
to young people. There's a hopelessness in them, and that hopelessness is the problem. I mean, they don't feel they're ever going to be able to buy a home. I mean, even buying a new car is insane. Like you're paying for like a RAV4, you're paying what you would have paid for a brand new Lexus 5 years ago.
Crazy.
And I'm not seeing the salaries raise much. And I mean, yeah, Canadian house market. Well, exactly, Anthony. Anthony says I'll never be able to buy a house. That's where a lot of young people are. And that's where these young people are just going, I may as well just buy a meme coin because I know that my Hawk Tua, I got to say something on this Hawk Tua. Like that's feeling a bit like a corporate, like how are you going to just have a girl say Hawk Tua? And now they got a Hawk Tua documentary. They got a Hawk Tua. They got a Hawk Tua reality show coming. How are you going to get Shaq meeting up with Hawk Tua within 3 days of saying Hawk Tua? I'm telling you right now. Okay,
our priorities are a little screwed up.
They created Hawk Tua. They planned Hawk Tua. They said this Hawk Tua, we're putting this girl in, and we're monetizing this Hawk Tua right from the get-go. Hawk Tua,
Yep,
gotta be a psyop.
Crazy.
And I don't know what the operation is. I don't think it's an operation, but I mean, like, let's be serious. You don't just say Hawk Tua and then have a show 2 days later unless it was all planned. I'm sorry.
She's dressed and ready to go. Just saying.
I'm saying. And I'm saying Hawk Tua. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But I heard now I understand what it means, and I shouldn't be saying it. Because it's gross.
Oh man, I'm telling you. But you were mentioning about something like Anthony DeVito. I'll be living with my mom until I'm 30 now. I know Anthony pretty well. We talk often. I got the chance to meet him in Miami, and we were talking about careers and like what he wants to do. And sorry, I'm not going to give you too much information out there. The video, I respect your privacy, but a lot of these are concerns of his too. I know that we've talked about it. I'm going to have him on here one of these days to shoot the breeze. That's what we're going to do. But think about it. People like in their early 20s, they're like, all right, well, what do I do? Do I go to college? Do I want to incur the debt? What do I? There's such a scope to like do stuff. I tell my students to go. You don't have to go to college. You could get a trade and make decent money. If you want to go to college, go to college, get an education. Because if you want to be an architect, you're going to need a degree. If you want to be a math teacher, you're going to have to get a degree. So it's like a necessary evil. But at what point are we just like nickel and diming our middle class? Well, we are. That's all we've been doing. We're getting
What
hosed.
middle class? What middle class? I mean, it's just and the you look at wage disparity of CEOs, even like a CEO pay is 1,400% higher than a middle management employee pay as of today. Before COVID, it was 900% higher. In the 70s, it was 300% higher. In the 60s, it was 100% higher. Like but then we worship, extreme wealth and all these different things. Like when I don't know what it's going to take for people, and the answer is not socialism. But what is it going to take for people to be like, you know what? I quit on you. I quit on your corporation. I quit on your mortgages. I quit on these colleges. And, we're running into that now with young people. They feel hopeless. And when they feel hopeless, they don't have kids. We become extinct.
And these entities are the same people that tell you have to have a degree to do said job. It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. There are common sense solutions, unfortunately, and you just hit the nail on the head. The answer is not socialism.
No.
The answer, it's like there is a happy medium to what we could accomplish, where we actually take care of the people that should be taken care of, taking care of the taxpayers, taking care of the veterans for our countries, taking care of all these people that have contributed to society. I talk a lot about, just people getting free whatever. I don't think anybody should be getting free whatever. I think that we pay into a system. I think that something should be easily accessible. I don't understand, like education should be easily accessible. Now, let me just explain this. I know I get an argument with people, and guys, you guys could disagree with me all you want. Share your thoughts. I mean, I'm just sharing my thoughts. I respect people with all opinions, but we pay taxes, right? Send our kids to school. It's an elementary school. All right. We don't pay tuition. We pay taxes for state institutions, the colleges, but yet we pay tuition. How about we make it based on academic achievement? How about we make it say, hey, listen, you're on the list to get in. You got your GPA up to this. You're on the list for whatever it may be. If there are too many people that want to go, not everybody wants to go to college, but think about that. Our taxpayer dollars are already going to these institutions.
Yeah.
The minute you make it affordable, that's the minute the government doesn't get their money in interest from your student loan. It's a vicious cycle.
Well, we're entering an age of great distrust. I mean, like a lot of the dishonesty that people witness during COVID is affecting them in many ways when it comes to their trust of government and their trust of institutions, me included. Like when they were saying, hey, this vaccine's gonna take care of this, whatever, I was like, boom, well, I'll get it. I don't want this COVID to be around anymore. You know what I mean? And it didn't. And then it was, hey, you need another one. And then it was actually, it didn't work. Sorry about that. And I was like, whoops. This is the war. I'm never listening to you people again.
People feel betrayed, as they should. I mean,
yes,
and that's the thing.
I do.
I mean,
and now they want to ask me to do something. And now if a real disease comes, an actual bad disease, I guarantee I'm going to get that because I'm not listening to them. So.
No, why would you? And a lot of people were doing what they thought was right, especially during COVID.
Yes.
Like me, I didn't bother getting the jab. My wife did. I didn't. I'm like, okay, well, I go, you know what? I sort of just don't like how this is all being packaged and delivered to us right now because, like, it came from a lab. Oh, it didn't come from a lab. That's crazy. That's stupid. Oh yeah, it turns out it did come from a lab. They're already prepping us for the next thing. And then they don't want to talk about side effects. They don't want to talk about anything. Like the disclosure on it is just like, it's crazy stupid. Like how could you trust, the governance of a country, the government? I mean, like, it's just, I don't. Look what they do with their taxpayer dollars. Like in America, we spent so much on Ukraine. We don't have we don't have a manned operation in Ukraine, allegedly, and we have tens and tens of billions of dollars going to a country. Then we have people pouring in, we have vets on the street, we have a
Yeah.
drug. I mean, the drug epidemic is just like, it's everywhere. It's I've seen it, and it's like, where are our priorities? Where are the priorities for humanity? You know, of lifting people up. We just seems like we want to keep people down and give them a reason to stay down. You got to
Well,
stay
you know what
down.
they did? You know what they did to me is I was happily eating bats and bat soup. I was fine to eat bats. It was fine. I was just a guy just eating bats. And then they said the bats caused it. And I was like, oh my
Oh,
God, I got to
dude.
quit eating bats here. You know what I mean?
Have you
And
started
then
eating
it
bats
turned,
again?
yeah, of course I'm eating
Okay.
bats again. I mean, come on. But they
Good.
stopped me from being able to enjoy bats for a good 2 years there. For goodness sake. Say it's a lab. Look at the damage they did to me.
Yeah.
But I will say on the OTC front, that is the other thing. Like they're saying that the changes they made are protecting us, and I don't feel protected.
Nope.
I'm seeing more mega insider promos running, Chinese insider scam promos running, everything but organic retail movement. And the dumps are shocking from these promos. How is it that there's still boiler room promos running all day long? I enjoy a good bat, unboxing bastard. That's what I'm trying to say. I enjoy a good bat. But how is it that these boiler room promos are still running all day long and we're protected? It's I don't get that, man. Like that doesn't make sense to me.
Usually, when any government entity or it says this is for your own good, you want to just do the opposite. Like, there's no like they don't create an agency to be like, oh, you know what, we're doing this for you guys. We want to make sure you make as much money as possible. I do not believe that like the SEC, FINRA, all these agencies are looking out for us. We want to make sure Iraq. We want to make sure Kiko makes a lot of money. We want them to succeed and we want them to make millions. If that's the case, we wouldn't see the market manipulation that we have. And people say like you can't short no, to bullshit. You could manipulate these stocks to the ground with borrowed shares. The professor will explain that.
I mean, if you have the collateral necessary to do it, and that's why you look at that BIOE the other day, they ran that up. All they did was put out an 8K. They replaced some CEO with Yang Yi. That was it. We got a new CEO, Yang Yi, and they sent it to the moon off boiler room promo nonsense. And then they shorted it to the floor, made money both ways. And your average retail guy or gal is sitting there and saying, why are you buying this again? But it's not about that. You know what I mean? But for us to see a merger happening behind the scenes on the SOS on something with a stop sign and buy it on verifiable information, that's too dangerous.
Oh, you don't want to get injured, with those.
No,
trades,
I mean, we got to be protected, and they protected me. So they're protecting me here. They tried to protect me from eating bats, but I'm doing it. I'm back on the bat train. And, and I'm asking questions about how I'm being protected in the OTC. I don't fully understand it. I don't feel protected.
No,
I feel protected from movement.
And I don't like the fact that a lot of stocks they don't it's by the way, it's bats now. They're encouraging eating bug protein. That's a big thing now. Bug protein.
I'm sorry now, and that's the thing. Maybe they could have told me to eat the bugs and I would have done it. But after they lied about these vaccines working, now I'm not eating the bugs. You know what I mean? So they blew it on that one, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah.
By the way, I just had crazy deja vu with Michael Singleton's comments. Bat and Duffs, damn good. Good. Get us some Duffs.
You just slap.
I gotta send you some Duff sauce. I gotta send you some sauces from Buffalo so you could actually try them. I think I'm gonna do that this week. I'll send you up some stuff to try.
Sure, I'd love
you need something to dip your bat in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, because bats have wings too. Buffalo guys, okay.
Get a little. Well, and it's the thing, it's the thing. So I mean, yeah, I think that I don't know. I forgot where I was going with that because I just got distracted because I said bug protein, but that's like the new thing. Like you have like you're gonna eat bugs and you will love it. That's what he says. Well, the new thing is like, and when I talk about IFAS, like there's a product that could help the cattle industry. I don't think they want to save the cattle industry. Why not? Because you can eradicate it. They could have you drinking 3 bug shakes a day, and if you're lucky on Friday, you'll get a bat wing. You know?
Well, and that's the whole thing, I mean, you get into this, like, I'm all for it. If with this climate stuff, if your answer is only just punishing regular people with extra tax and inconveniencing them, you're never going to achieve any climate goals. Like, it just irritates people. You know what I mean? And then they question everything. You know what I mean? And we're seeing that up here with that carbon tax. It's no easier for me to, if I were driving to work every day, it's no easier for me to get to work. There's no transit for me. There's no electric vehicle infrastructure. All there is I'm just paying more to do exactly the same thing. And so we're in such a weird place societally
Hmm.
right now that I don't fully understand what's next for us. I was mentioning, maybe you can remember this too. In the 90s, it felt we were looking forward very hopefully. And our vision of the future was one of, you know, flying cars and robot helpers to help our great. And now when I speak to a young person about their vision of the future, it's dystopian, and it's a weird time.
I don't think it has to be that though.
No.
I think that we can eat meat and survive and drive cars and survive. I think that there are solutions out there. I think we spend more time arguing about solutions like, yeah, producing less CO2 is good. I think that there's a people freak out like, oh my God, they've been saying that the earth is going to be Florida's going to be under the ocean for like 50 years now.
Yeah.
But where do we draw the line on like, how about making a really good hybrid vehicle? We go from like, no, we have to drive all trucks to no, we have to be all electric. Okay, all electric, stupid. Because what's going to create the electric for those vehicles is you're going to need energy, coal. You're going to need, I mean, you
Yeah.
could do water energy. I mean, we got the falls here. I mean, there are solutions. Look at hydrogen. Hydrogen is a solution. Why aren't we utilizing that as much as we should? It's sort of
I
like,
think we'll get there.
look at Tesla. I mean, I remember when they had, Ford and all those other big companies were getting major props for their work for electric vehicles and their Teslas, and they sold the most out of any of them, making a
Yeah.
change. I'm an Elon Musk fan. I like what he's doing. He's trying to make the change. I mean, that guy, dude, he's working with NASA. He's getting more done with NASA than NASA was able to get done.
Yeah.
That's wild stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're getting to a place of fake. Well, yes. Well, yeah, that's a good point,
That's good.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah, right.
Now that you mention it. Yeah. But
It's just crazy. I mean, there's no happy medium. That's the point. There's no happy
I
medium.
think we'll end up there though. Like you saw, like Toyota, for instance, the shareholders, some shareholders went crazy because they didn't go all EV. And now, because they decided to go for a hybrid strategy, now they're selling gangbusters because people are going, hey, that makes sense to me. Like, this doesn't inconvenience me, and it allows me to use less fuel. Hey, imagine if you could find ways to help people get to a place that's good without inconveniencing them. And those are the types of solutions.
Like I'm a truck guy. I love my truck. Well, I don't have a truck anymore. I traded in for a hybrid because I have an hour-long commute. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get a hybrid vehicle because maybe the best of both worlds. I'm definitely saving some trips to the gas station, but the minute I do something where I'm working closer to home, I'm buying a truck because I
Yeah.
like the truck. I like having that utility. I'm a truck guy. Always have been. Love it. Trucks and sports cars. But I had no problem buying a hybrid. It's a nice vehicle, save on gas, but it makes up for it in the car payment. So it's like, where am I going to make the payment? The car payment or at the gas pump? So I said, all right, I just want to get out of my car less, I guess. So that's the
What type of car did
justification
you
there.
get?
It's a Honda
Okay.
CR-V hybrid. I'm gonna get major crap for this. Maybe some people are gonna be like, you Honda boy. Actually, Honda makes a great product.
They do. Yeah.
I used to have a Dodge Ram. I liked my Ram. That thing rusted after a year though. There was rust on it. Like the
Yeah.
bodies on those things are not great. I mean,
Dodge,
if I got another truck, I would do a Toyota Tundra.
Yeah, that
That's what I
Tundra is
would do.
nice. You get a hybrid
Yeah.
on that, use a bit less fuel, and
Yep.
I guess it just hauls ass too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've test drove some of these, and they're very
Yeah.
they're very nice. But the Honda, I like it. I love it. I like the fact that it actually has major pickup to it. I didn't think it would have good pickup because every four banger I drove, it's like it has like a very high like. This thing
So
has a
that
little bit.
hybrid helps, right?
It's not bad. The
Yeah.
turbocharged, it's not a bad vehicle, and it has some nice pickup. And I drive fast. Only the speed limit on the record.
Right.
Only the speed limit.
I still have a V8. I gotta get with the times.
What do you drive?
It's a Lexus LS 460. So
Does it have like a big plow on the front too, so to get people out of the way?
It's all-wheel drive. It's about 10 feet long, and it's black. It looks like a funeral vehicle, I guess. And it's got the V8. It uses a ton of gas, but less than my last car, which was a Lexus LX 570, that big truck. And that only got about 9 miles per gallon.
Yeah.
So this is better
9,
than that.
not bad. 9.
Yeah. 9. And it had to be premium too.
Premium.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going down to the store. You go to the store, make sure you go to the gas station next door.
$15 to go down to the grocery store.
Wussy. Wussy.
What? Yeah.
Oh,
and then
funny.
so I got, at some point I'll have to look at a hybrid, but I mean this thing will probably last for 35 years, so I don't know.
Yeah, the longevity of Honda. I actually, like, back in my 20s, I drove a Honda Accord, and it was actually a very nice vehicle. And back then you don't have any money, and so I drove that thing, and my buddy checked it once. It was just a little weird. He goes, "Dude, let me check your oil." So I had an oil leak. I had no oil in the vehicle.
Oh my God.
No oil. So we're hanging out, and I'm like, I don't care. I don't have money to get this thing fixed. I put it off for like a whole nother week. That thing had no oil in it, and it ran for a week before I got it fixed. A week.
That's the difference.
And that's not a made-up story, folks. My boy's like, "Dude, did you get your car fixed?" I'm like, "No, I didn't." Still was driving back and forth, doing my thing, and that motor was awesome. The Honda Accord, the old Honda.
That's the difference with Japanese, man. They just keep on running.
Chevy Tahoe. Hey, I like I said, I love trucks. Like I love all vehicles. I like sport vehicles. I just like a good vehicle. By the way, the unboxing bastard, he likes his vehicles too.
He likes the Hondas.
Yeah, he likes.
Skateware 3D says wussy. I don't know who's the wussy. Is it me? Probably.
It's probably me because I said the Honda.
No, I don't know.
I don't know. Man,
here I am. I'm in pitch blackness.
Unsubscribe.
Pitch blackness, talking about eating bats. I mean, this is a terrifying situation I'm putting forth here. Yeah. Will I ever be invited back? I don't know. I hope so.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I got to get you some sauce for the wings.
Sure.
Bat wings. We'll get you some sauce. I'll send you. There's anybody that's familiar with in the Buffalo area. Yeah. The truth is, Bar Bill sauce is really, really good. Oh yeah, actually this is pretty funny. So we're talking about cars, and then that's why I told Kiko here. I said, hey, we're going to talk about anything today. But Steve has a good point. How do you drive an electric car in the winter if in New York and Canada all of your battery goes to heat the frost car? You know what? I'll tell you this right now, and it's funny that you brought this up. My gas mileage now is way better than it was in the wintertime. It sucked in the wintertime, and it was comparable to my old vehicle. It was like, wow, this sucks. Now that we were starting to heat up, now I'm getting like 38 miles, 40 miles to the gallon now based on because I have an hour-long commute. And I'm like, okay, so it definitely isn't. It's definitely affected by the weather, 100%.
Yeah. And up here, I mean, because you guys get a lot of snow, and we don't get as much snow, but we certainly get the cold, and we'll do, a 2-3 week stretch of, minus 35 Fahrenheit, and you got to cross a prairie, and there's no freaking way that I could be doing that in a fully electric vehicle. There's just no chance, and so until they have the infrastructure in place to deal with that, and I can't sit around in that type of temperature and wait for it to charge with the car turned off. It's just not a go. It just can't happen.
It doesn't make sense. It's like when they say they don't want you to have like natural gas stove anymore. It's like, oh,
Right.
they have to come up with something. Oh, it causes cancer. What are you talking about? It's a natural gas stove. Here
Yeah.
we are. And then you have like in Buffalo, when we lose power and we get 6 feet of snow on us, the only other way to heat your house is gas. If you lose power in this, we had dozens of people die in the last storm. Imagine not having any natural gas to your house to heat it, and you lose power in a storm. If you're all electric and you lose power in a winter storm, you're screwed. You're screwed. You're done.
Yeah. Not
You're gonna freeze.
everything can be solved by
No,
electric batteries. I'm
we
sorry.
want to cover all. That's what we want, a one size fits all solution. And that's it's never going to happen. No
The
way.
solution is probably hydrogen, because you can solve all sorts of issues with internal combustion with
Hmm.
hydrogen, including manufacturing plants and all sorts of different things. But creating the hydrogen is very expensive, and the infrastructure is expensive. But I have a feeling that we're going to probably transition from hybrids to hydrogen more so than battery electric. But
I am in 100% agreement with you.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. What's the output on that? Like water, right? That's
yeah,
the
water vapor.
water vapor.
So you can
I mean,
get moisturized as well. You can breathe in some humidity.
you know what? It's like a thing. Like you know, instead of a trader like jumping off, the off the top of the building, or they go in the garage, they shut the garage door, start the car up, and they try to end their life, right?
Yeah.
Well, now they're going to have to try and drown themselves in the garage with the hydrogen vehicles. It's not going to work out very well if they want to commit Harry Carry.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'll be doing that just to kind of get my sinuses like loosened up,
he
and
tried to
like,
end it all. It didn't work with that hydrogen
yeah,
car.
I'll be
Did it?
doing it for just breathing reasons. Tropical garage.
Tropical garage.
Yes.
That's what they should do, and they should have garage makeovers. There could be a whole thing.
Yeah. You
Be a
run
whole
the
thing.
hydrogen car in it, and it's like you're in the you just landed in Brazil or something. You know what I mean? It's exciting.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
walls are all like moisture.
Dripping.
Like a sauna. Oh man. Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, why is little Timmy under the tailpipe? Well, he's just getting a drink.
Yeah,
He's getting a drink.
he's dry. Leave the kid alone.
Just soaking up
The kid's
back in the day it
dry.
was the hose. Now it's the
Yeah.
exhaust.
Come on, man.
Oh man. This is
Yeah.
a good one today, man.
Yes, for sure.
Well, I want to thank my guest. Thank you very much for coming on, Kiko. I appreciate having you on. Thanks for sharing the experience, that you had with Chris Hansen. What you've learned so far, and thank you so much for sharing with the BFC community.
Yes.
I learn a lot from you. I have a great time when you're on the show. I know my crew does too. I know we're probably going to have some kind of a conversation at some point today or tomorrow in the Discord, and we'll have some fun at your expense. And
Please do. Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
no,
the thing I will say, you did ask me about seat. Like, I'm buying seat back. And so if anyone would like to join me on it, this project is far from done. Chris is still attached. We're still moving forward. It's just going to take some time, and successful trades I make elsewhere, the profits are going to be going to seat, because I can control this thing and this supply pretty easily, and I will. Batman, he called me. Yeah, Batman signing off.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
you got Kiko, you got King's Calls, now you got
Batman.
Batman.
King
Shove 'em.
Calls, Batman, Chris Henson.
Chris Ensan.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, sir. It was great to have you on. We got to
Thank
do
you
this
for
again
having me.
towards the end of summer, and I appreciate all you do for our community. And you're welcome back on anytime. And we'll be looking forward to those seat updates as well, sir.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys later.
All right, let's get this guy out of here.
I am on Twitter. It's at Kiko Stocks. That's me.
Yeah, get him. Get
There
him.
he is.
Make sure you
Boom.
follow him. All right, get him out. Get him out. That's all I got. That was a nice podcast. And it's always great to sit down with him and just shoot the breeze and talk trading, talk his experience. The guy has been doing this for a very, very long time. So thank you very much. That's all I got. We're back. This is the Q3 kickoff. We're going to get this. We're going to get it right. And if you haven't joined the Patreon, the Discord, join the BFC. I'm going to be going live there in the next couple days. I have a couple, what I would call swing plays lined up. So then I have a couple long-term plays that we're developing. And we have a couple stocks that we've been working on, for the last couple years that we're still sharing due diligence on. So we're looking to grow our community. That's all I got. You guys have a great day. And remember, there is more that binds us than breaks us. And I mean that when I say that. Peace out, guys.